Hello, this is Travis, aka Vistaye, and I'm the developer of Chronos Trials RPG. Today, I'm just going to be going over some of the exciting new features I've added to the game and things to kind of look forward to, I guess. So the first thing is the Relic system. There's a lot of people who didn't like how it functioned originally, with only having 3 options and it just not being very, not having a lot of control over it. So I've decided to do something about it, and there's 2 major things. The first thing is a lot of people would simply try and pick a relic, not get what they want, and immediately restart the run to refresh the relics and just do this over and over again until they get the one they want. Obviously, this is kind of problematic. It's not really how the game's meant to be played. So I've done something about that. And now the relics will only refresh if you've got until the afternoon on your current run. So if you immediately refresh or restart your loop, the same 3 relics will still be there. You have to make it to the afternoon at the very least to be able to refresh those relics. This is just to prevent people from just restarting over and over again to get the thing they want. And obviously a lot of people will be like, that's the opposite of what we asked you to do. We want more control, not less. So I've also added something else. And this is bounties. So every major village past a certain point will have bounties you can collect. And here we can see we have Syndra. She is a boss in the ice caves. They are infinitely stronger than everything else in the area. They have 10 times the amount of health that the other bosses do. But they still do the same amount of damage. So if you go for a build that makes you very tanky, damage reflect, for example, and just lots of healing, then you'll be able to destroy her pretty easily. So once you defeat Syndra, you get an extra relic choice per run. So you go from 3 to 4, you have more options. And if we go and claim that, I've already defeated Syndra in this playthrough. So we can now see we choose from an extra relic option every run. Now, if we go to restart the loop, there we go. When we go to choose a relic, we can see we now have 4 options to pick from. So there we go. There will also be bounties that allow refreshing the store manually. You can do it once every run, for example. There's also going to be options for choosing one relic to keep permanently if you want. So you don't have to choose a relic at the start of every run. You can just choose to pick, for example, Beastly Fangs and just run with that for the entire game if you want. There will be options like that, but they will be unlocked through challenges. So for most of the game, well, I say that's a lie. For the first maybe 10 hours or 5 hours of the game, you will just be limited to the 3 as usual, no change. But then you'll start unlocking some more options later on. Also because the amount of relics constantly increases, so you're less likely to see the one you actually want. So yeah, having more options to refresh everything makes a lot of sense. So there we go. That's a relic system. That's a bounty system. That's two big things there. I'm now going to very quickly skip through this entire area. Not walking into the level 50,000 enemy. Okay, there we go. So the level 100,000 enemy, the Ice Queen, once you defeat her, the next area is quite interesting. And that is because up until now, the game has been very linear. You do one area, you go to the next one, you go to the next one. This is where it opens up a little bit. We have a world map now. So we can see Snowtown, level 1 to 100,000. That tiny sort of square of buildings there makes up the entire start of the game up until level 100,000. Upon leaving it, we now access the world map and we can choose where we go to next. The recommended area to go to will always have a yellow label above it, so if you don't like kind of trying to figure out where you want to go, there will always just be a small label that's different that says you should be going here next. And this is also where hard mode is going to be unlocked in the full game. So no longer unlocked upon beating Chronos for the first time, it is now done here. And hard mode obviously has been changed significantly to match this. All of the items have been buffed a lot. Some of the weapons are now reaching like 800% by this point in hard mode. And obviously all the accessories, all of the tomes, everything like that, or novels. So yeah, changes to hard mode and the world map, another 2 significant things to talk about here. And if we sort of explore, there's an igloo here we can go and visit. That's a puzzle which unlocks a fairly strong accessory if you get it right. And we can see we now have a boat. And the music stops because I haven't actually made the music for this yet when you're sailing. But we can now kind of travel the continent and see where we want to go. If we just dismount, there we go. Now, obviously, I still need to add most of the boundaries to this area and things you can and can't walk on. I'm pretty sure we can... No, we can't walk over the mountains. That's fine. But here we go. So Mining City is the next place you're going to be going to, most likely. It's level, as you can see, 100,000 to 250. So you can kind of get an estimate of how strong the area is that you're going to as well. And where you'll be once you finish the area. And if we were to go in there, there is an inn, so you can rest there and make that your spawn point, so you don't have to constantly travel between continents. Yeah, that is that. If we travel up here, we can also see we have Enfeebling Tower. And this is the first challenge area I'm adding to the game. So this is another new thing. Some areas will give you nerfs or buffs to try and deal with the enemies in the area. So if we enter here, we can see we've got set spawn. Yep. So we just make this our spawn point, so we can just do this challenge over and over again if you want. We've got normal and hard mode. There we go. And the cool thing about this challenge area is you have to try and defeat every enemy while staying at level 1. There we go. Here we are. So you can see there's a couple new enemies here. I've already got the accessory for this one, so that's why it's got a green label. But yeah, so you are locked at level 1. You don't gain experience in this area. And obviously this forces you to use weapons and accessories that give you a lot of base stats. So I have created quite a few accessories and weapons up until this point that just give you really high base stats, but not a lot of percentage stats, which is obviously really good for situations like this. We've got to defeat a level 30,000 enemy whilst at level 1. And these enemies drop quite decent loot, and there will be several floors to this tower as well. So this one's like level sort of 30 to 50,000. The next one will be about 100 to 150,000, and it'll just keep escalating like that. So you can kind of keep coming back to this place throughout the game as you get stronger, as you get higher base stats, maybe some more skill points. And yeah, there'll be a few areas like this essentially. And if we go and restart the loop, because I set my spawn, we can see we choose a relic again. Let's go spare flashlight. And once again, we can set ourselves to level 1 to enter the Enfeebling Tower. So there we go. Those are pretty much all of the things I wanted to mention. Yeah, we've got world map, relic changes, bounties, challenges. Those are the main 4 things I wanted to talk about. So hopefully you're excited about all of that. I'm really excited to kind of expand upon the world map. And the good thing about the world map is it also makes it very easy for me to update in the future. If I want to add a new area, I don't have to necessarily tie it to a certain place or kind of put it in the middle of something. I can just add it as a new continent on the world map for you to visit. And as a result, it just makes it very easy to expand upon in the future. And it also gives you more choice as to how you progress throughout the game as well. Because there will be maybe 1 or 2 areas that are similar levels to each other. So if you're going to one place and you're kind of struggling there, you can go to the other place and get some loot from the weaker enemies that might help you out more. So it's just another option. Same way that you have normal and hard mode, you can choose to swap between the 2. You can now swap between 2 different areas. So you can do normal and hard mode in one place and normal and hard mode in another place. So it's just about more options to explore. Yeah, that's everything. Have a great day. Hopefully you're excited for the game. If you are interested in it at all, please wishlist it on Steam. It helps me out an awful lot. Yeah, have a good day.